We're going to open up the phone lines to take your calls at 813-239-9663. You can also email your questions or your comments to dj@wmnf.org. Today on Last Call, we're going to talk about the strikes by Walmart workers this Friday across the country. We'll also talk about the local actions in support of those laborers. The day after Thanksgiving is typically the busiest shopping day of the year. And joining me to talk about what's being called Occupy Black Friday and Walmart worker solidarity protests is Jennifer Romanelli Mitchell. Welcome to Last Call, Jennifer.
Hi, thank you.
So there are some Black Friday solidarity protests against Walmart in Florida tomorrow night and Friday. Tell us, what are some things that you have planned?
Well, the group that I work with that we planned last night in our meeting is for Friday morning from 10 a.m. to noon. We will be in front of the Walmart Supercenter on 8001 US Highway 19 North in Pinellas Park, which is one of, I believe, the biggest Walmarts in the country, to show our support and our solidarity with those who want to strike but can't, and those who are currently striking against Walmart.
Why are Walmart workers, some of them across the country, why are they striking that day?
On that day in particular, I believe it's because it's one of the biggest consumer holidays of the season, and Walmart, they've been the biggest retailer in the world since 1992. So this is, I mean, symbolically, as far as going and buying stuff, it's important, and as well as it's hitting them where it hurts the most, you know, when they need the most of their employees. So.
But not, you know, people aren't striking against every kind of store. They're not striking against Whole Foods. There's a big coordinated action against Walmart because of the conditions that the laborers face there. Give us an idea of wages at Walmart, benefits, and things like that. Why Walmart in particular?
Well, Walmart is they are the biggest retailer, and they have such a huge control over how they pay their workers, what they pay their workers, and they do not like to pay anything more than minimum wage. There's been multiple lawsuits going back to the 90s with gender discrimination, you know, promoting men above women who have more experience, making employees work through their lunches, work off the clock without pay. Numerous lawsuits with wage theft is what they call it. So they unlawfully fire disabled people. They want to get by with paying as little as possible, and they keep the employees on this cusp where they don't have to offer them the benefits, and the health benefits that they do offer they're not adequate, you know, in terms of actual care.
813-239-9663 or dj@wmnf.org if you'd like to join this conversation. If you have an opinion about the Walmart workers' strikes across the country this Friday, or about the solidarity actions, if you have questions about what's going on, or if you know of an action that's going on near you and you want to let people know about it, please give us a call, 813-239-9663. My guest is Jennifer Romanelli Mitchell. Tell us what the response has been. Last night you had a meeting to kind of coordinate your action. What's the response been like to these solidarity actions?
It looks like it's going to turn out to be pretty well as far as the potential goes. I know there's been a lot of support, even to the point where it's hit the mainstream media, and to the point where Walmart tried to file an injunction to prevent the pickets from even occurring, which the National Labor Relations Board said no to. So they're obviously intimidated by the amount of support that has been garnered. So.
All right, well, we have our first phone caller. It's a regular caller. Hi, Sam and Brandon. What's going on with you today?
Nobody's protesting. My neighbor's there who works at Walmart, and I asked her, are they protesting? She said no. It's a bunch of hogwash.
All right. right, Sam. Thank you very much for that call. And so is it hogwash? Is it true that there's no one protesting now? What I imagine is the case is it's possible that there are some Walmarts in which there are no protesters, but the have you heard of places across the country where there will be workers protesting?
Oh, absolutely. They're all over. If you go to corporateactionnetwork.org, they actually have all the Walmarts. You can search by zip code, by city or state, and it shows all the different strikes that are going on, the solidarity protests. You can adopt a Walmart, which is what we did to help get word out about the solidarity protests that we're performing. So, and there's a lot of protests that are organized just on the Corporate Action Network website alone all over the country. So I don't imagine that that's very hogwashy.
I think you already touched on this a little bit, but what is Walmart's opinion, or maybe what's their record been on workers organizing or either forming unions or getting involved in actions like this as far as striking? What do you expect kind of the blowback to be from Walmart?
As far as anybody who tries to strike or walk out of Walmart, they have a history of retaliation, threats, punishment involving schedule changes, cuts in hours, cuts in benefits, things of that nature. They also have an unfavorable history with the NLRB and activists and other people filing lawsuits against Walmart for the intimidation of protesters and picketers trying to bring awareness to the situation.
813-239-9663. If you want to call and make your voice heard on the last call on WMNF Tampa, or you can email us at dj@wmnf.org. We're going to go now to John in Sarasota. John, hi. Hi, John, go ahead.
Yeah, I just wanted to comment.
Sorry, Maria, I wasn't able to put him on the air, so I was going to try to get you to do it, but now I can. I don't know.
Right to organize, my opinion. Walmart also has the right to fire them, and if the employees want to walk out the most important day for the store, then I think the corporation has absolutely every right to fire every single one of them. In fact, if I was Walmart, I'd fire everyone myself.
Okay, thank you for that thought, John. So tell us, Jennifer, does Walmart have the right to fire someone for going on strike?
Sure they do. I mean, especially in a right-to-work state such as Florida, and Walmart is a private employer, so I'm sure that they could, but I'm sure that there would be repercussions from that. I mean, there's going to be a huge backlash, but I mean, they've been getting away with firing people. They're not the only company that does this, but fire people once they make a certain amount of money, and then hiring people in at the minimum wage so they don't have to give that bump in pay and benefits. So I'm sure they would think, hey, if you do this, then it works out in our favor because we can fire this person and bring somebody in who doesn't care and is just happy to have the bare minimum wage.
Being so obsessed, if I could use that word, with reducing the costs of doing business by doing a technique like what you're talking about, having firing someone just because they're making a little bit more than a new person would make. It sounds like it would be something that a company would be doing if it were just getting by. But Walmart is unbelievably wealthy.
Yeah, they're huge. They're the largest private retailer, and they've been the world's largest retailer, private employer, and largest retailer since '92. And they have in '98, I think it was, they had 825,000 employees. So I imagine they have close to, over 1 million by now. So, and I mean, when you force local businesses and smaller companies to shut down by driving down the cost and driving down prices and wages, then you kind of force everyone to have to work for you because you're the only person in town that's hiring. So they do have a huge kind of thumb over people that way.
Let's explore that a little bit. You're talking. You say that since they're such a large employer and they buy so many items, from distributors, that the price that Walmart sets kind of sets the tone for the rest of the market. And if they buy, T-shirts at $1 or $1.50 per T-shirt, then it's hard for other companies to buy them at $2 or $3. It drives the price down for everything. How does that work on on the global marketplace scale for wholesale?
Well, for one thing, if you have to pay twice as much as what Walmart is paying, then it's the spiral effect where you can't even afford to pay your employees a living wage because you have to pay more for what Walmart's getting for half the price. And with all the offshoring, not much is made in America anymore, unfortunately, because, we sometimes now fight for living wages, and they take the jobs where the bottom line is a little bit lower, just to, in their terms, scrape by. But we know it's a little bit more than scraping by is what they're doing, so.
You're listening to WMNF Tampa, Last Call. My guest is Jennifer Romanelli Mitchell. It's 5:43 in the afternoon, and you can email us at dj@wmnf.org if you'd like to join the conversation. You can also give us a call at 813-239-9663, and I'm going to go to Gary in Clearwater. Gary.
All I want to say is,
why can't I push the button? Do you know? You do something down here, and then I can. Do you know what's going on with that?
You have your comics up?
Yeah, what'd you do down there?
Nothing.
You clicked something and then I could.
Let's change that. It's from screener status
I think that the owners, with all the money they're making,
This one?
need to distribute
Is that right?
some of that
let's see, was it the one that's
to all
in
the
the studio?
employees,
Yeah.
so they can lead a better life,
Okay, thanks.
so they can provide for their families. I guarantee that the owners of Walmart will be celebrating Thanksgiving with their families, and all the employees are
No,
going to be
because you're
working.
going to need to turn on mics.
And so I feel that it's very unjust for them to be making tons and tons of money and not giving a little bit back to the employees.
Gary, thanks for that call. Jennifer, do you want to respond to that?
Oh, absolutely. I agree. I think the current stat going around is that the Walmart CEOs make in 1 hour what a Walmart worker makes in a year. Walmart employees are forced onto federal assistance. They make a little over $15,000 a year. And I think definitely, the CEOs could definitely afford to give them the holiday off and give them a living wage without it really hurting their pocket and their holidays and things like that.
Yeah, it's kind of unbelievable how early the sales start on Thanksgiving afternoon.
Absolutely. People are going to be interrupting their holiday because Walmart has decided to begin Black Friday on Thursday evening. And so, everybody's going to be waking up from their tryptophan comas to get in these Walmart lines because you got to start at camp out 3-4 in the afternoon if you want to get in line to get whatever bargain it is. And then it doesn't even end there. They have from 8 to, I don't know, maybe 9 or 9:30, they're doing a round 1, and they have a map of all the different high ticket items that are going to be on sale. And then at 10 o'clock, they begin the round 2 of, the second round of in case you missed it kind of deals. So.
Thank you for that call, Gary. Let's hear from Mike in Brandon. Hi, Mike.
I just commenting on the how Walmart beats out all the local businesses and then treats their employees
keep an eye on that.
so badly.
Keep an eye on our mics.
Like that
Discount
they're
stores like
they're in
Walmart,
the
discounting
process
like that
of,
is illegal to keep businesses
putting into
competitive.
action this corporate agenda that keeps the rights of because I've heard a few people saying that the corporations have the right to do this, the right to do that, but it seems like there's a corporate agenda to have the rights of the corporation supersede the rights of the people and of the good of the country, and that's just appalling.
Jennifer?
Well, and they will do that, and it is appalling. They force people onto food stamps. Walmart is I think the heaviest tax subsidized retailer. We had this issue in St. Pete not too long ago, where several of us were fighting Sam's Club, which is, a Walmart, I don't know if I want to say subsidiary, but their big, bulk outlet. They filed for a tax credit to build their giant store, and the city and the county, they gave it to them instead of using that money in infrastructure or to help the people who need it most, who are gonna end up applying and trying to get jobs at this Sam's Club, but at the same time you could give them a little bit more because they're not going to get it from the Sam's Club job. So. Mm-hmm.
All right, thanks so much for that call, Mike. Let's see if Joy in Wesley Chapel is on the line. Hi, Joy.
Hello.
Hi. What's on your mind?
Well, I had a question about the Made in the USA, I guess, slogan that they have or have had for a long time. I've noticed they return to their, claims that a lot of their products are made in the USA. Is this a return to the Saipan sweatshops and that sort of thing? Is this a quiet return to really underpaying workers? I was just curious, and I'll take my answer off the air. Thank you.
I don't know. I imagine that the Made in the USA is, I don't know this set in stone, but that the Made in the USA is just probably a front. As far as I know, and as the research I've done, I have not seen them making any active effort to make more products or export more products, even the point is being made in the USA. So
I'm sorry to interrupt you, but I think what Joy is getting at is that Saipan is part of the Northern Marianas Islands, which is a U.S. territory, and so there were huge companies that would go in and have sweatshop labor conditions in Saipan in the Marianas Islands, and they do these. And because it's a U.S. territory, they could stamp "Made in the USA," even though it essentially was made in conditions that would be appalling even in China or in the Philippines or wherever horrible sweatshops occur. And so I guess Joy was wondering, and we don't know the answer here, but whether that was a technique that was still used by Walmart to get cheap goods yet still push them off as being labor friendly, because they're made in the USA. Because in typically the United States has pretty good labor conditions relative to some other countries. But thank you so much for bringing that up, Joy. Let's see if we can go now to Arnetta in Tampa. Hi, Arnetta.
I'm enjoying your program, and I just want to say this. The young lady is probably a nice person. I like Walmart. I've been in other countries, and I know that in America, if you don't like what's happening, you have the right to protest. I think it's unfortunate that there's not the other side, because I think we're hearing one side. I don't think Walmart is the devil, and I don't think the workers are all angels. I think that there's probably something going on in the middle. One of the things that I do know is that when the first Walmart store was in Mississippi, I was there at the time, and Sam Walmart, he gave jobs
respond, right?
to people who were ex-cons, who were black people who couldn't get jobs anywhere else. And I really think that just to look at the negatives is not positive, and to say all these bad things about Walmart does a lot of good charitable things. And we live in America. People can go to school. You can get a better job if you choose. And just to rang on Walmart, I love going to Walmart. They have good deals, and I think it's a good thing. So.
Thanks for that call, Arnetta. Would you like to respond?
I think it's a one-sided conversation because Walmart always refuses to comment on these matters whenever they're reached by any member of the press, it seems. And I know Sam Walton's vision when he came back from the war and opened the first, what became Walmart definitely fits more of the more idyllic kind of image that is kind of comes to mind, and when in my mind when you talk about when you mention Walmart and that